Hello Explorers, welcome back. So I apologize if you hear my printer going in the background. I am printing more copies of this, but we're going to be doing an end of month check-in. I haven't done one of these in a very long time. I got a new template. This is from Marlene at Snow Gardener 307. I really like the way she has hers laid out. It's very similar to how I was laying mine out, but this is a lot easier for me to do than having to write it myself. So this is gonna be my first month trying out her tracker, but I've watched her for a long time and I know that I like the way hers is done, so I don't think there should be any issues. This is her June budget, what is it? It's from her June budget kit, but I just printed the sinking fund check-in. So that is it. Let's get started, I guess. And you guys know, as always, it's probably going to be a hot mess. But that's okay. Alright, I'm going to start. I have everything in front of me. I'm probably going to knock things over. I'm going to start with my actual sinking fund binder first. I am filming this on Monday, right before we leave. Unless my printer telling me it's out of paper, which I knew, so I'm not really worried about it. I do have to write sideways, so I apologize if it's hard for you guys to read. I'm going to start with this books challenge. And this is going to be... So hers is set up binder, category, cash balance, bank balance, total balance. So I really like that because I like to keep track of what I have in cash versus what I have in the bank. I love that she has those two separate categories. That's not something I've ever done. I've always combined the two. But I love this because then I know where that money is. So even though books is technically in the bank because we did pull most of the cash out and put it in the bank, we're going to put that as though it's cash because as soon as I get back from my trip, it will go back to being cash. It's not going to be sitting in a high yield account. It's only in the bank while I'm gone. So we are going to set that as technically as cash. So for cash, we're going to say there's 100. There's nothing in the bank. I don't keep the money we have for books in the bank. So the total balance is $100. Clothing, same thing, except we actually only have $2, $4, $6, $8, $10, $12 in clothing. So there's nothing. And these are probably all going to be pretty low, but that's okay. Every little bit counts. This one, funny enough, is probably going to be gone today. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Corey is going to get a haircut today right before our trip. It's definitely going to cost more than $12, so I will take the difference from maybe clothing. I don't know. But we're going to do this as though... I'm going to put personal care. Because I just haven't made a new envelope. Right now it says nails, but it's nails, skin, hair. This is supposed to be the end of June, or the end of May check-in. Why can't I think, you guys? This is the end of May check-in, however... We're doing end of May as though it ends right before I leave for the trip. So obviously that goes into June a little bit. So doctor, we have 50, 75. I am going to put that this is in the bank because this is going to stay in the bank. So we're going to put, it's in the sinking fund binder. It is doctor. There's not going to be any cash. It is going to stay in the bank. Home maintenance. $2, $4, $6, $8 in home maintenance. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. We gotta get these built up. I really like the way she has this set up. But yeah, seeing that there's only $8 in there. So here's another one. 150 was put in the bank. That's going to come back out in cash. So there's $153 in cash. We don't keep home necessity money in the bank. put home needs. So once I come back, we'll do basically, we did a back to the bank video. We will end up doing a back to the binder video when I get back, where we'll put the money back in there minus whatever was spent. So part of her budget thing is that there are expense trackers included in that kit. So I will be printing those, and I'm actually going to do myself a favor and I'm going to take a couple of them with me on my trip so that I can keep track of what we spent, since we won't be spending in cash, we'll be spending from the account. And currently the account has obviously $150 from home necessities. It has the $100 from books. I don't want to be tapping into that, and that way I can keep track of what we've spent in what category, so that when I go to pull the money, I know. Because, for example, even though there's $100 in the account right now for books, today is Monday. Tomorrow, a book that I've been waiting for releases. It releases tomorrow, Tuesday, and then we leave Wednesday. So we're going to go to Books A Million and Target tomorrow and try to get that book. If we go to Target, I always use my red card no matter what. So I will need to subtract that from whatever I spend from this 100. So I'm going to just keep track of everything on the expense. That way, when we go to do the back to the binder, I can make sure that I'm not allocating $100 for books, because obviously I have spent a little bit. So this one is car maintenance, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Why did I thought there was only 16 in car maintenance. Okay. Anyways, 18. And we shouldn't need anything for the car. Corey just did all 4 brakes and rotors and oil change. And my goodness, there's not much more you can change on this car. The brakes cost me like $700 or $800, crazy amount, because we have a diesel F350 Super Duty and the parts are just so expensive. We also just got a new battery for it. So this year we've put in a new battery, all new brakes, all new rotors, new windshield wipers. Last year we put in a new starter, a new high pressure fuel pump, a new engine, obviously like all new filters and stuff. We just had an oil change this year, like not long ago. So when I say there's not much more to fix on this thing, there's not much more to fix on this thing. Okay, this one is car registration, which we actually need to get the registration done on this. We have 200 here, 270, 290, 295, 297 it looks like, right? Yeah, 297. We're going to say that that's in cash because that money will come back out. Okay. I mean, we do have a few things we could do on the car. It needs the air conditioner does not work, so yes, we just sweat our butts off here in Central Florida. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, $16 in there. And that is obviously in cash. So, I mean, that's definitely something we could do. Sinking. Tires. Tires has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23 in cash. Which we are working on a car maintenance challenge right now, but it's only going to be for $100 when it's finished. So this one is all done. Let me move that. All right, we're going to go into travel syncing. Hope it doesn't bother you guys that it's like sideways. I cannot write straight. All right, so flights. Lights has nothing right now in cash, nothing in the account, and nothing. But I do want to have a spot for it. Hotel has, and this again, this is going to come out in cash, so 100, 200, 220, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. 246? Yeah. Maybe I should have put that was in the bank, because then I would have known how much to pull out. Like these placeholders, and then I could have just fixed this. Oh well. Gas has a whopping $16. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. There's only a few of them. So I'm going to put 220. Whatever's in parentheses, I know is what is in the bank temporarily. So books, I know 100 is temporarily in the bank. I don't think there's a whole lot of them. Doctor, I said I was leaving it that way. Home needs, I think, was 150. Yeah. So 150. Car registration was 50, 70. That way, when I go to pull the money, I know how much was actually in cash. That'll just help me. All right, tickets. Maybe I should have turned the camera so that you guys were seeing this more straight on. I don't know. 1, 2, 250, 270, 280 in tickets. I think maybe next month I will go in and see if I can edit this so that these are all typed so I don't have to write this every time. See if I can just have all the categories and everything all typed up on here. I'll have to see if she has this set as editable. Editable? That just sounds wrong even though it's not. So 111 in food, which actually I need to pull some of this because we went to, I need to figure out where I'm going to pull SeaWorld from. We went to SeaWorld and we spent $107 on food. I didn't eat and Wrigley didn't eat. I love SeaWorld, but it is so expensive. They put in a Chick-fil-A, and so we were actually happy that at least the food was going to be good for once, because normally SeaWorld food is terrible. Like, I won't lie to you guys, SeaWorld food is absolutely horrendous, but they put in a Chick-fil-A, so we were excited. But they don't have meals. Everything is an entree. So Corey and Lennox split a 30-piece chicken nugget, which was going to be enough for me, Corey, and Lennox to eat. But when they came out, it was super dry. One, they forgot about us. We literally sat there for 45 minutes before Corey went up and was like, hey, there's not even anybody left. Like, where's our food? There's people that have walked up and ordered and already gotten their food. Meanwhile, like, we still haven't gotten ours. Somehow they missed our ticket and just completely forgot our food. But by the time we got it, it was super dry. So I didn't end up eating any. So Corey and Lennox ate. They got a 30-piece chicken nugget between the two of them. Half of it went to waste because Lennox was like, Dad, they're dry. They both got a large fry, which, again, they didn't offer any other size in fries. And then every drink was $6. So I got a drink, Wrigley got a drink, Corey got a drink, Lennox got a drink, and so our total was $86. Then we went and like it was 92 degrees that day, so I had to stop obviously again and get us all drinks again. Um, and so for my drink, my water, Lennox's water, Wrigley's water, Corey didn't want anything. It was $20. It was $19 and some change for 3 waters. Next time we will be investing in their refillable cups because holy smokes. Holy smokes. Okay. And obviously that was not expected to be spent. We don't usually eat when we go, but we didn't get there until 5 o'clock at night. So we just went ahead and ate there. Normally, like I said, we will eat before we get there because I'm not spending that kind of money on food that's not good. So Souvenirs had $15 in cash. Buffer has, maybe I'll take it from Buffer. That would actually make sense. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70. So I mean that wouldn't be enough, but it would help. But I'm not going to do that right this second. I will do that at the end of the month. Not the end of the month, but like when we get back from the trip, I'll figure out where that money's going to come from. Because right now, all the money's just in the account, so we'll figure it out. Because I know that we don't have enough in SeaWorld. Disney. Disney's another one I need to pull $93 from, I believe. Is it 93? I think so. But I don't know if I'm going to pull that from Disney or pull that from Corey's birthday. So the day after Corey's birthday, we ended up meeting our friends Becca and Jason at Disney. And they just happened to restock the pins that Corey's collecting, which have been out of stock for months. So I went and bought a couple packs of them. So I might take that out of Corey's birthday money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 650, 670 is what we have in Disney. But I need to put that's actually all in the bank. Universal. We have 120, but 100 is in the bank. I could also pull, what I might do is pull 20 for SeaWorld, I might pull 20 from Universal, the 70 from Buffer, and then the rest from SeaWorld or Legoland. They're all theme parks. The reason I don't mind pulling for one theme park from another theme park, the reason I keep separate ones for each is so that I'm making sure that we have enough. Because if I just had one sinking fund for theme parks in general, we wouldn't end up having enough money in there. If I make sure that each one has a certain amount, though, then I know that I've put enough aside. Oh yeah, between Legoland, if I take the 21 from Legoland, the 20 from Universal, leave the 100 in Universal, and then take whatever SeaWorld has 20, and then Buffer, we've got enough to cover it. We are good. I do need to work on getting these built up. We did not end up going to our Legoland event. I was just exhausted, you guys. I was really exhausted. I wanted to go, but Legoland is about an hour drive from us. And we had to be there by 9:15 in the morning. I'm not a morning person. And I just wasn't feeling it. It's like I wanted to go, but I didn't want to get up and go, if that makes sense. It's been incredibly hot. Like, it's been in the 90s with 80 plus humidity. Ugh. It's been torture. Alright, Vegas. And Vegas, I might actually end up making Vegas a regular sinking fund. Because we keep finding ourselves wanting... Crazy enough. We keep finding ourselves wanting to go back for things. So we have 115. 100 of it is in the bank. Right now, it's that we're trying to go back so that I can take Wrigley to when we were young. But Lennox wants to go back to eat because she wants to go to Chubby Cattle. Wait, why is there only... Okay. Okay. Like I said, Lennox wants to go back to eat. I want to go back to eat. It's funny because when we were talking about moving, I'm going to put road trip. So we're not going to sit and add these up because I don't pull it out, but we have one. I do want to keep track of how many are done. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 envelopes. Does envelope have an E at the end? Yeah, I think so. Okay. When we were talking about leaving, it was funny because I said, Corey and I were talking, and I said, you know, here's how I know that Vegas, like, we're just done with Vegas, is think about it. When we leave, we have no reason to come back. And we both agreed, like, once we leave, like, there's nothing to bring us back. And then we left, and now we're wanting to go back all the time. Like, I've already been back once. Corey's been back twice. Which is just funny. Holy smokes, I didn't realize how many of these are empty. Okay, so this is holiday. Easter has nothing. Holiday. I'm not gonna keep track of Lennox because we're currently doing hers. So I'm not gonna leave it like that though. You know what? Instead of doing that, let's just do the ones we actually have money in, which is Corey. And Corey has 112. But 100 of that is in the bank. So I might make it a regular, might make Vegas a regular travel fund. I don't know. That way if we do want to go back, we have money in there to do that. So there's 100 in 4th of July, and it is in the bank. School has nothing. Wrigley. Wrigley doesn't have a whole lot because we are working on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We're working on Wrigley's birthday in... It's got a whole binder. This money, though, is so that we can buy him something. Because even though they get trips, I do like to at least give them something on their birthday. Because a lot of times their trip won't land directly on their birthday. Or, like, on Lennox's birthday, we went to Dollywood. So, she had spending money. She ended up buying a bubble wand. So, this one is done. Let me grab the other ones out of the printer. I hope this ends up being enough of them. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get some more paper down and print some more. Okay, let's add these up. Oh, I thought this had a total thingy on it. I could have swore these had, like, a total. Okay, well, that's okay. Let's get the calculator. We're just going to total it up at the bottom. So this page is $2,611. I'm going to set that aside. We'll work on the next one. I should have printed I might have to pause the video and get some more paper because I don't want to do this one for like this tracker. She has one specifically for savings. So I want to do one for like my CDs and stuff. Binder is holiday still. This one is Halloween, which has $15 in it. 15. Anniversary. We have 150, 170, 180, 185, 86, 87, 88, 89. So 189. Again, all of that is in the bank because we're going to be out of the country for our anniversary. We're going to be on the trip that we're currently on while you guys are watching this. So we may or may not use that, but I'd rather have it accessible to us. If we don't, it'll get pulled out and it'll be put right back in here. And it'll get saved for our dating anniversary, which is what we normally celebrate, which is in October. But I'm pretty sure we're going to use this because I have a dinner lined up. So we have 22 in Thanksgiving, and it is in cash. And then my birthday does not have anything yet. We went to Mexico for my birthday. And you guys, I think I figured out what I'm doing for my birthday this year. Tom Felton, which if you're not a Harry Potter freak like I am, Tom Felton is who played Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies. He has announced that he joined the cast of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway in New York starting November 11th. My birthday is in December. He's going to be doing 19 shows. So he'll be there from November 11th until March something. So I think for my birthday, I'm trying to go to like the opening weekend show on November 11th. So I think that's what I'm going to do for my birthday this year. Yeah, I know. Crazy. I'm going to be doing something cold. You guys know I hate cold weather. I don't like to be cold. But I will stick it out for Tom Felton. Especially if I have the opportunity to meet him. If you're a Harry Potter person, everybody has their favorite characters. My absolute favorite Harry Potter character is Snape, Severus Snape. Alan Rickman, genius, brilliant actor. Love him. Loved him, I guess. R.I.P. But, I'm a Slytherin through and through, so I've always also loved Draco. So yeah, Tom Felton has my heart. So the possibility of getting to meet him, because they do have where you can meet the cast, I will die. Alright, so for Japan, I kind of think I just want to put total, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to total up the binder for Japan, because we also have money in the account. So I'm going to put Japan as the binder, Japan as the category, and then I'm not going to worry about this because this money was sent over to the high yield and it's going to stay there. So when I pull the cash out, that's cash that won't get pulled out. So right now we're just going to go through and add up the cash, and then I will open up my Capital One account and see what's in the high yield currently, which isn't a ton, but still something. We will be working on this though. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My goodness. Okay. Did I put that on there? 4 plus 6. Yeah, okay. 9. There is a 10 in there. There is 15 in there. Okay, well, there's a little bit more than I thought. I mean, not a ton, but there's some. So, okay. So there's $40 in cash. And then, let's see what's in the high yield. Once we start doing this binder actively again, I will start keeping track of what's in the high yield better. So currently in the high yield, funny enough, there's exactly $250. That was unintentional. So there's $290 in Japan. Okay. Christmas. Is the category, is the binder. Same thing, Christmas has money in this binder as well as in the high yield. So let me do the high yield first since I have it open. In the Christmas high yield, there is $203. What an odd amount. Why? Why is there an odd amount? Where'd that $3 come from? Oh, one of the challenges we finished was $48. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so we need to add up the cash. There's 15 in this one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my goodness, why can I not get this open? Okay, there we go. There's 10, 11, 12, 13. In that one. There's 11. 11. 11. 11. That's funny. This one has $5 in cash. Not going to count the placeholders because the placeholders were put into the high yield. So that money won't come back out. It will stay in the high yield and it's already been counted. Same thing here. We've got $6. That 50 is sitting in the high yield. We don't want to double count that. Same here. So $10 in cash, 20 in the high yield. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in cash. $2 in cash. Okay, sorry, that wasn't making sense, but it does. $10 in cash. 12. 5. So there's $145 in cash. Probably should have pulled more out of this one, but that's okay. Just because there's so many challenges. So there's $145 in cash plus $203, which is in the high yield. So we have $348 in Christmas. So we have more in Christmas than I thought. That's actually not terrible. Although we are halfway through the year, which is nuts, you guys. That's absolutely nuts. Okay. Travel binder. Ooh, how do I want to do this? This one's hard. Because this technically should have been counted in with the sinking funds, since they're the same categories. Oh well. We're going to put CH for challenge binder. So flights, we have 56 in cash. Hotel, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Guess I could have just counted this whole binder as one, the same way I did Japan, but it will. Souvenirs, 50. This is an area that I'll have to figure out how I want to do it next month. 51 for Disney. Tickets. Has 150, 170, 175, 76, 77, 78, 178. And 170 of that is in the high yield. So actually, what I want to do really quick, I want to make sure that I wrote this correctly. Tickets here has 280 and 170. Is that what it reflects on my... It does. Is that 5? Okay, it's actually 175 is what's in the account. Just because I know that I pulled 280 from the ticket sinking fund. I didn't know if I wrote how much I actually had there. I don't remember writing such a big number, but apparently I did. Food has nothing, I'm not going to write it. Gas has nothing, I'm not going to write it. Cruise, which cruise actually has a high yield as well. And this is where I feel like I should combine the categories in here with the sinking funds. So I'll probably do that next month. So cruise has 150, 170, 171, 172. But 170 of it is in the bank currently. And then it's high yield. Oh, you know what? No. Hold on. See, this is where I confuse myself. Since this one has a high yield, I'm pretty sure that these placeholders I actually just put into the high yield. But let me double check. Yeah. So we're not going to put that it has 170. It has $2 in cash. That 170 was sent over to the high yield. So it has 270 in high yield. So it's got 272. Any of these that have a high yield, I won't, instead of pulling the money out, when we do the back to the binders, I will leave them in the high yield to earn interest. Once I've put it in there, it doesn't make sense to pull it back out. But some of these I keep in cash. Like hotel I keep in cash because it doesn't have a high yield. Gas doesn't have a high yield. I keep it in cash. So that money is going to come back out. I just don't want it sitting in my house while I'm gone. So this one is universal. And it has 53 in cash, nothing, and then 53. I hope this is all making sense. And everybody has to do what works best for them. Okay. Goodness, I'm messing this up. Travel, this is Wizard of Oz. And I know that it has 100 in the high yield. And it has 20 in cash. Because we did pull 100. We're going to put travel. Dollywood has 51, 2, 3, 4, 54 in cash. Because we're trying to go again, and if we have the money set aside, we will make it happen. So we'll just save for this one slowly, same way we did cruise, until there's an actual trip planned, and then we start hitting it a little bit heavier. What is this one for? You guys, I don't remember what this one's for. I do this every time. And you know what I just realized? This flights is not flights, it's New York. It's that New York challenge. Oh, this one is Bestie Day. I knew there was something. If you create a category for it, you will save for it. 25. We don't have anything planned for Bestie Day. I'm super booked, obviously, in June. Jasmine is really, really booked in July. And then I'm booked again in August. So I think the soonest we'd be able to see each other is probably September. But we're working on it. We're working on it. Alright. Don't think there's any money in any of these. I should get back to cash stuffing these, but it doesn't make sense because I just don't go to the bank enough to put the money back into the bank to actually pay these, so it's easier just to leave the money in the bank account. Okay, what I do want to put is this, and we have currently so 1525 sitting in the high yield plus 730 in cash, I believe. Let me double check. Cash might be a little bit more than that. No, 730 in cash. Plus 300 in cash. So this is what's sitting in the high yield. Like this high yield is 1525. 730 is what's sitting in my bank account that I didn't transfer to the high yield. The reason I didn't transfer it to the high yield is because there's a huge delay between transferring from Chase to Capital One. I don't want to wait for that in case we were to need it. I'm just going to leave it in the bank account. And then this is what we have in actual cash. But I have also sent money to my credit card already because we want to use the credit cards while we're there because my credit card has no foreign transaction fees. So this, once we go through the money that I have already prepaid on my credit card, what I'll do next is I will transfer money from the high yield because my credit card and my high yield are both Capital One. So if I transfer from my high yield to my credit card, it goes immediately. There's no delay. So this will be the second amount that we take from for spending. If we go through this, then we'll use the bank account. Or what I'm thinking, if we go through this, I'll transfer money from my emergency fund because my emergency fund is also Capital One. I'll transfer that to the credit card while I wait for this money to go back into the emergency fund and just replace it that way. I know it sounds complicated, but the whole thing is keeping all of the transactions for this trip in one spot, which is the credit card. 1, it's easier for me to track. 2, I earn cash back, and since this money's already cash stuffed for, normally we're not using the credit card. We haven't been using it, we're working on paying it off, so normally we are not using the credit card. But since the money is already cash stuffed for, we might as well be earning that cash back without putting any additional debt on there. Plus, I always round up my purchases, so if my purchase is $7.20, I'm going to round it up to $8, and then we're putting an extra 80 cents on the credit card, like, towards the balance, which is always good. So let's add this up. 730 plus 300 plus 1525. So we have 25.55 for spending right now, not including what's already been paid on the credit card for it. Everything is completely paid off. We don't owe a single thing. Flights are paid for, luggage is paid for, meals on the flights are paid for, the room is paid for, tickets are paid for, everything is paid for. So that's just spending and food. And again, if we need more, we have it. It's not a big deal. Okay. I need to take a drink, you guys. I've been talking nonstop for 45 minutes. Nobody in my house is awake right now. So, Corey and I woke up early. We stayed up late because we completely packed. Like, I shouldn't say we. He's not packed at all yet. He hasn't even started, and we leave tomorrow. Not tomorrow. We leave in 2 days. I'm completely packed. The kids are completely packed. The only thing I have to get packed for me is I need to grab socks. And then I need to go to the front office and pick up my converter because for whatever reason, they delivered Corey's converter to the house, but they delivered mine to the front office. We ordered them together from Amazon. So, I don't know. Whatever. Alright, so this is... It looks like this was supposed to be a line that my printer just did not print. So this is going to be games. And I'm just going to put all this together. I'm not going to worry about putting it in categories. $34. There shouldn't be a whole lot in here anyways. We finished a lot of these challenges. But like this one's obviously going to go to car, but I don't know where I'm going to put it in car just yet. So for right now, it's just going to go in this under games binder. And then next month we'll see a change, hopefully, when it's finished and it ends up in the... Okay. This one's going to trip me up. So this one we're going to do separate. I want to put this in savings. We're going to come back to this. Same thing with that. Alright. 20, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Only because those are going to be going to a separate savings binder. Or tracker. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Ooh, I turned the air off in the living room. It's still on in the bedroom, but I turned it off in the living room because it was loud. And now I'm sweating. Nothing. I think the rest of these... Oh, there's this one. Should have finished this one. 21. Especially because Father's Day is coming up too. Okay. So in games, we had 167. I might just put the savings challenges on here for right now, or not savings challenges, this savings and investments on on this for right now, and then I'll transfer it over when I have time to print, because I'd have to pull down paper and just too much stuff. All right, we're gonna put Bucks binder. We have 4. We finished up so many. Plus 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Couldn't remember if I put that in on here, but I did. 22 for Star Notes. Plus, once Star Notes gets to 100, then we will do an extra cash stuffing into retirement. That's how I've decided to do that. I really like it. Let me grab the bundles, which I have next to me. Okay, there's only 2 bundles, so that's $50. So 86. That's crazy. We've never had that little amount ever. Granted, we do have the L-Buck box, but we're not counting those right now. Alright. Next up is retirement. Let me go ahead and grab my retirement, and it has 1,101 in it. That's what's in the high yield. Because we finished that box, which this needs to get cleaned up. You guys, I'm probably going to do a whole video just going through and setting everything up. Maybe I'll do a live. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so when I return on the Wednesday, whatever the first Wednesday is that I return, that's what we're going to do on the live. It'll be on this channel, but we're going to go through and get all these binders set up. So 25 in cash, because otherwise I won't get this done. So that's $1,126. Okay. This is minis. And in minis, we have 20, 35, 40, 1, 2, 3. So that'll be going to Japan. This is going to be a nice little addition. Slow and steady. That's why I like minis. 20, 30, 45, 46. 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one will be a nice addition to the August trip. 31. Also going to be a nice addition to the August trip. So even after the August trip, we're going to be doing Harry Potter challenges because I'm trying to go to New York to go to that show. 14. I'm still deciding if that's going to be my birthday trip or not, though, because I kind of already bought stuff for a birthday trip, but I don't know. So now all the challenges I had pre-bought for my birthday trip, I don't know. The kids want to go back to Mexico. Corey wants to go back to Mexico. And so I thought we were going to do something like that for my birthday. One of my favorite things in the entire world is tacos. So I had bought a bunch of taco challenges to make like a taco binder. But now if we're going to New York, like all these taco challenges that I bought aren't going to make sense. So I don't know. Okay, this one I'm going to put everything together because it's going to be for this trip. So we're going to add it all together. We have 12. 13. 30. My family and my kids are trying to do so much stuff. Like, they want to go to Mexico. Like, so much stuff, like, over Christmas. Usually we don't do a whole lot of stuff over Christmas time. But they want to do the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party again. They loved it last year. I loved it. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I need to save for that. But we also have TwitchCon, Disneyland, and When We Were Young Fest in October. Then in November, we would have Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Warped Tour Orlando. And then New York. Plus, they want to go to Mexico and for Christmas again. And I'm like, guys, I don't like to spend a lot of money during, like, the Christmassy time because I'd rather spend that money when it's warm. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Like, the whole point of doing Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is because we don't do big trips. But they're killing me, guys. They're killing me. So if I can get another Mexico trip sponsored, then, and I only have to pay for flights, then we'll do another Mexico trip. But otherwise, I don't know. I hate paying for hotels. I know nobody likes to, but as a creator, I hate paying for hotels. Plus, I'm trying to pay for Greece next year and Italy and hopefully Japan, 28. And those places, I don't get that stuff sponsored. Like, that does come out of my, like, I do pay for all of that. $40 in there. 25. So, I don't know. We gotta seriously sit down and discuss what we're gonna do for trips the rest of this year, because these kids have got too many big grand ideas. Lennox just told me that she, right after I booked this trip that we're currently on, she started telling me, Mom, I really want to go to China. And I'm like, why do you want to go to China? Because I want to eat rice and see a panda. Okay, child. So I started looking into it. China is expensive. It is incredibly expensive. So we have 319 in this binder. And then in the high yield for this one, I have not transferred it over yet because I am waiting. There's only 100. I'm waiting to transfer it over until after the trip we're currently on, because that high yield will change into this trip's high yield. So I don't want to mix the money right now. So for right now, it has not been transferred over. It's sitting in the bank account. Because whatever's left over from the trip we're currently on, if anything, I'm not saying that I plan on it, but if there's anything left over, it will go into this trip, this August trip. Okay, do I have anything left? Is that everything? That's all of my, hold on. Books, Vegas, Universal Food, Greece. Greece does not have its own high yield just yet, but we did take money back to the bank for Greece. I need to make it a high yield because, oops, it's not in cash. It is in the bank. It needs its own high yield because of how far out that trip is. The reason I'm not making this trip its own high yield is because pretty soon we're going to be done with the trip that we're currently on, the Europe trip. So then it can switch over to UK. So it doesn't make sense to make it its own high yield when in a couple days I won't need it anymore. Okay, let's go into savings. So I think what I want to do is close this one out and do a separate sheet for savings. So 15. These are going to be low numbers. I don't want to see how bad these are going to be. But seeing it will hopefully give me motivation to add more. Because lately all of our money has been going towards trips. We also have not been good about our spending. I've spent so much on clothing and stuff for this trip. But we actually won't need anything for the next trip, I don't think. We might need a few things. 6521. So let's get into savings. I should have put retirement on the savings one, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to have emergency. And emergency has $1 in cash because that's what's in Danny's book. Because the rest got pulled out and put in the high yield. So, in emergency, we have 1,000. Wait. I don't know if... Okay, yeah. We have $1,938.37. I do count the change in this one because the change does go up. So something I've been doing for like the last, I don't know, maybe year, is that all of the interest earned on all of my other high yield accounts, I transfer over to emergency. So for example, this month, 23 cents was transferred over from the Japan high yield. 5.72 was transferred over from the Europe trip high yield. 36 from Bill Savings. 30 cents from Cruise. 14 cents from Christmas, etc. I do not transfer interest over from, and then it earned $4.09 in its own interest. I do not transfer over interest from the kids' high yields. I leave those. Those are theirs. I do not touch their interest. But just by adding that, I'm adding about $8 or $9. Actually, it's about $10 a month extra into here, which makes a big difference. So that's the emergency. Is it where I want it to be? Absolutely not. But we're working on it. Mind you, I have had to drain this emergency many times. So now we're going to go to Lennox. And her high yield has no cash. I don't keep any cash. 861.25. Again, I leave their interest in theirs. Wrigley's has $810.96. And then for CDs, how much do we have in here? I think there's 20, 40, 45. So we have 45 in cash. Actually, let's just put that. 45 in cash, and this is CD ladder. Now let's add up all my CDs, which is a lot. 506.49 for January's, 517.24 for February, 515.67 for March, 503.28 for April, 501.67 for May, 512.49 for June, 261.43 for July, because we haven't purchased July's new CD yet. Then that will go up because the 250 will get added to it. August is 260.36. Again, haven't bought this year's yet. September has two because of the way they lined up last year. One was an 11-month CD and one was a 12-month CD. So September has one that matures on September 4th, and currently it's at 258.35, and then it has one that's matures on September 3rd for 257.10. October has one for 256.47, but now November doesn't have one because one of those September ones was purchased in November, but because it was a shorter CD, it matures in September. So I am going through and fixing all of those. Last year I did them based off whichever one had the higher interest rate because there was a huge significant difference between purchasing a 10-month CD, an 11-month CD, and a 12-month CD throughout the year. So I bought them based off whichever one had the highest interest rate. This year, all 12-month CDs have had the highest interest rate, so that's what I've been purchasing. So next year, we will have one every single month. And then December has 254.09. So thought we were over 5,000. Interesting. Anyways, $4,604.64, which means after the 45 cash, there's $4,649.64. So let's add all of this. Is that everything? I think that's yeah, that's everything. 4649.64, 810.96, 861.25, 1939.37. So that is $8,261.22. Obviously, that's not including... Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Nope, we are missing something. We forgot bill savings. So bill savings is something that I started a long time ago, and I was so close to finishing it, and then I pulled it. And while I'm not ready to cash stuff into it again, I have been every month rounding up my RV payment to $700. So every month I've been putting in $15.78 into here. So that's why it's up to $142.02. But eventually we will get back to cash stuffing into this binder. So, and bill savings for me is like a month ahead for most people. But this is just so that I can have 1 month worth of bills saved up in the event of an emergency. So, kind of the same concept, but also not really. It's more of an emergency bill savings account, which is why I call it bill savings. Okay, let's add all of these up and see what we have, which I can already see by looking at it is really sad. But it's also not terrible considering the fact that last year I literally had to wipe out my accounts. So in total, I'm at $17,535.24. And that's just what is already been cashed off. That's not including what's in my bank account. Obviously, I get paychecks every couple of days. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're big. I got a couple paychecks I know for sure came through while I'm on this trip. And those have not been cash stuffed because I'm on the trip. I'm also filming this weeks in advance, so by the time you guys see this, I will have had a couple paychecks come through. But this is also, I need to give myself some grace because I've spent a lot of money on trips. I've spent a lot of money on truck repairs this year with having to redo all the brakes and the rotors. I'm not used to that costing that much. On the Escape, it was like $150. We were like $700 plus. I think it was over $700 and that was with Corey doing it. So I had zero labor cost. That was just parts. For all of the brakes, all of the rotors, oil change, wipers, etc. So expensive. So yeah, I think I'm not doing too shabby. Not doing too shabby at all. We got 4 new cameras this year. I know that sounds excessive, but I got a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Corey got a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Wrigley got a DJI Action Pro 5. Lennox got a DJI Action Pro 5. And then both kids got a new iPad because they desperately needed them. They couldn't even hold one movie on them for flights because they had iPad minis from 2019. So they were definitely due for new iPads this year. So I also have to give myself a little bit of a kick in the butt because I have not been budgeting. I've been cash stuffing, but I have not done well with my spending. I need to get back on track with watching what I spend. I've been bad about spending before it gets cash stuffed is the problem. So, because we don't go to the bank as often. So there's always a balance in my bank account. Whereas when we lived in Vegas, as soon as a paycheck came in, I went to the bank, I pulled that money. Okay, sorry about that. My camera died. Which was perfect timing because Lennox woke up and was able to go get me a battery. And it was time to wake Corey up to go get his haircut. But what I was saying is that when we lived in Vegas, we were right next to the bank. I mean, I literally could have walked to the bank. I didn't, but I could have. So it was easy that as soon as a paycheck came in, I went to the bank, I withdrew that money, and then I sat and I budgeted out where that money was going to go, and it got cashed up. So we never had money just sitting in the bank account, ever. We used cash for almost everything, or we would use the credit card. I would go deposit, because again, it wasn't inconvenient. It was right next to my house. And I would pay it off. And that's how I kept my credit cards paid off after I paid them off. That was how I kept them paid off. Well, when we moved to Florida, it is really inconvenient to go to the bank. Really inconvenient to go to the bank. The nearest bank to us is Wells Fargo. We have Chase. If we had Wells Fargo, I would be doing this the exact same way I was in Vegas because the Wells Fargo is literally right by me. But I don't have Wells Fargo. I have Chase. And the nearest Chase is in Kissimmee. And it's such a hassle to get to, and I'm not going to go to it multiple times a day like I could the Chase. Like, literally in Vegas, if we went to Walmart, you had to pass the Chase. Like, it was in the parking lot. If you wanted to go to Walgreens to pick up my pictures, had to pass the Chase. If we wanted to go to Papa John's, had to pass the Chase. If we wanted to go to our storage unit, had to pass the Chase. If we wanted, literally anywhere, McDonald's, anywhere we wanted to go, we had to pass the Chase. So it wasn't out of the way ever. Even if we just pulled in, put money in the ATM and pulled out. Like, so convenient. Now, not so much. So I find myself leaving money in the bank account all the time because I never, like, if I'm at home and I need to pay for something, or it's like, oh, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and place this order for this Etsy, or I need to place this Amazon order, I'm not going to run into Kissimmee, put money in the bank account to be able to place that order. Like, it's just not going to happen. So instead, I always leave money in the account for things like that, or bills that come out, whatever. But because of that, I find us not tracking our spending and spending when we don't need to be spending. So it's really, it almost feels like I'm learning to cash stuff all over again. Like, I'm kind of starting from scratch because my situation has changed. So while I have the fundamentals, because I've spent the last couple years learning them, in a way, I'm almost starting from the beginning again. Only this time with a lot more knowledge than I did the first time around. And obviously not in debt the way that I was the first time around. A lot more funds. I actually have emergency funds and sinking funds and stuff. So, but as far as my budgeting goes, I'm still trying to figure out how the best way is for me to handle things. If I got regular paychecks, because I know there's a lot of people in the same situation as me where they can't go to the bank every 5 minutes like I could before. So in that sense, they have the same situation that I'm in currently. The difference is most people have a regular paycheck, so they can schedule, oh, I'm going to go to the bank every other Friday when that paycheck comes through, or every Friday when that paycheck comes through, or whatever the case may be. Whereas I can go 9 days with no paycheck, and then I can get 3 paychecks in one day. Or I can get 3 paychecks 3 days in a row. Like, a paycheck each day. It's very sporadic. I never know the exact day that they're going to come in. I have an idea because I know based off my contracts, like, when payment is due. But sometimes those payments come in early. Sometimes the brand waits till the very last minute to send the paycheck. And sometimes, like with one brand currently, they paid me early. However, the website they use, the system they use to pay, they put the money on that, like, platform is what we'll call it. And then I withdrew the money. I am still waiting for that money to hit my account, and I withdrew that on May 24th. And it is currently June 9th. So it's very unpredictable when I'm going to receive my pay. Which I know sounds like a bunch of excuses. I'm not trying to use them as excuses. I'm trying to figure it out. So, just learning curves as situations change. And honestly, there's always room for learning, so I'm not even mad at it. But I think doing this helped me see, like, this is not where I want to be. This is not at all where I want to be. I would like to see this number, the next step, get it up to 20,000. And honestly, with getting it to 20,000, where I mainly want to see a difference is this emergency fund. I'd really like to see that emergency fund get up there. I think, honestly, the next thing I'd like to see is this emergency get to 2,500. I'm not even going to give myself a super huge goal for the next step. I want to keep it realistic, but I really want to be putting more into that. So yeah, I think maybe I need to go through and look at some more goals, and this is all stuff I think we're going to go over when I'm redoing the binders on Wednesdays live. So yeah, so come with your thinking caps to help me. I go live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be on this channel. And let me see, what day will that be? that will be Wednesday, the 25th. Which I know I'll be home on the 25th, so I know I'll be able to go live because I have a Zoom call with my manager. So, that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you for sticking around. I know this was a really long video. I know these aren't for everybody, but I know some of you really enjoy these videos. So, you know what, you guys? You know what This has been sitting here this whole time. Where did I put this money, though? I switched this out, but I don't know where I put it because it's not listed on my... This is my sheet from when we did this, and I actually don't have it listed anywhere. 150, 160, 160. Okay, I need to write this. Oh no. Oh no. We are going to put Tropic because we don't know where this is going to go yet. I'm thinking it's going to go in Greece, but we have 100, 150. And it's not in a high yield, but it's going to go once I figure out where I'm going to put it. I think I'm going to put it into Greece, though. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's 169 here. Yeah, I don't think I wrote that anywhere. Because I have a list here. Like, this is everything that we wrote out from when we did Back to the Bank. This is my simplified version of it so that I knew exactly how much for each category. And I didn't have that written on there, so I need to add that into my totals. Okay. That is not good. Which means I need to adjust some stuff here. Oh no. 6521 plus 169. So that's actually 6690. Which means this total 17535.24 plus 169 is actually $17,704.24. Listen, every penny counts. I'm not about to miss out on $169. Plus, this would have been $150 shy, or short. Okay. Now that that's corrected. So, I think actually the last thing I want to do is see how much we need to put aside to get this to 20,000. 20,000 minus 17,704. So the goal is going to be $2,296. I think that's very doable because $250 will be going towards the CD for July. So that leaves us with needing to come up with $2,046. So now I kind of have a goal for myself. Let's write that on there actually. $2,046 to get to 20K. Yes, I know technically I needed more than that, but I already know for a fact I always do 250 to the CD ladder, so I'm not I know that that money will go there. So, that is officially all that I have for you guys today. And I will see you back here. I don't know when this video is going live, so I will see you here next time. Whatever next time may be. So, until next time, bye!